Hello guys, welcome to the third episode of Racing Game Guide. If you haven't watched previous episodes, please watch them. In this video I will show you my method of making suspension for vehicles in Unity. By the way guys, the raycast method I talked about in my previous video is more dynamic than my method. You can make a realistic vehicle controller with that if you want, but my method is good for arcade style racing game. So let's start. First you need a 3D model of a vehicle. You can get some free models from Unity Asset Store or make your own. But make sure your model has the body and wheels mesh separated. And the wheel mesh's pivot should be in the center. If your model comes with a body and a single wheel mesh, then just duplicate it and place it in the four corners. I am using this model that I bought from Unity Asset Store. I would recommend you to keep an eye on the asset store whenever a deal comes, because I got 20 high quality assets just for $35, plus $7 tax of course, but it was a very good deal. By the way, this asset that I am using is Toon Racing. And it does not include logic, just 3D models. So I am using this model for demonstration. I will quickly separate the body and wheels. So we have a body and four wheels separated. We will add rigid body components to all four wheels, and the body too. And set the body mass to 1500, and wheels mass to 20. Values may differ for your model. Try using real life values. Then, we will add sphere colliders to wheels, and adjust its radius. Then add a configurable joint component to all four wheels, and drag and drop body to the connected body slot. Then set the anchor position to 000. Let's see what happens. I forgot to add a collider to the body. Add a box collider to the body and adjust its shape. Then select all four wheels and in the configurable joint section, lock every motion except Y motion. Then hit the play button. Now select all wheels in play mode and go to the configurable joint section again and open Y drive and set the position damper to something like 10 or 20. And keep increasing position spring until the vehicle body moves up. For my setup, the spring value was 100,000. Just play with these values and find out what works for you. And remember, whatever changes we made in play mode will not be saved. So remember the values and place those values in Y drive in edit mode. Then hit the play button and you will get a really nice bouncy suspension. Now you will have some issues with the wheels when you try to implement acceleration and turning because of friction. So I would recommend making a physics material with zero friction and adding it to wheels and the ground. This will make your vehicle slippery, but you can make a friction logic in your script. So this was a demonstration of my method for suspension. I will show you a comparison between raycast-based suspension and configurable joint-based suspension later in this video. Now I will talk about vehicle movement logic for arcade games. What we will do is, whenever the acceleration button is pressed, we will add a forward force to the body, and if the brake button is pressed, we will add a backward force to the body. If you add this force to a slightly lower position than the body's center of mass, you will get this accelerating and braking motion, just like a real vehicle. Let's see why is that. If you add a force to an object and the force direction passes through the center of mass, the object will accelerate in that direction. But if the force direction does not pass through the center of mass, then that force creates a torque, and the object will move, plus rotate. And in case of our vehicle, the suspension spring force will take care of not letting the vehicle to roll, or flip. Of course, if you increase the force so much, then the spring force can't handle it. So make sure to use reasonable values. Now for turning, we will add torque on the body depending on the input direction. Guys, if you are using rigid bodies, then you have to use forces and torques for movements. Because if you just rotate the body each frame and translate the body forward each frame, you will get some glitches. So use force and torque. Now you have movements, but your vehicle is sliding because there is no friction. To fix this, we will find the vehicle's velocity vector and calculate the sideways component of velocity. And we will add a force in the opposite direction of the vehicle's sideways component. The amount of force depends on your choice, whether you want your vehicle to drift or grip. Less force means more drift, and more force means more grip. So this is the basic logic of vehicle physics in arcade games. Now it depends on you if you want to add some other mechanisms on top of this. You can add flying mechanism, you can add jumping, and more. Now I will show you a comparison between raycast-based vehicle physics and configurable joint-based vehicle physics of some upcoming games. I will link social accounts of those game developers in the description if you like to check them out. So the first game is Pocket Wheels by Florian Wolf. In this game he used a raycast-based approach, and he implemented some extra features, such as flying, flipping vehicles, and grappling. This game looks so nice and fun, and the level design idea is very cool. Riding car indoor on a foosball table. Very cool feeling. Next game is Zekist by Yannick Jurts. He also used a raycast-based approach. This game's visuals are so eye-catching. And with the low poly look and good use of color theory, this game really stands out. and funny characters and ragdoll deaths makes this game more engaging. Now I will show you my game with configurable joints approach. I haven't added any extra features. Just drifting and auto-balancing. Auto-balancing is very easy. You just have to check whether the vehicle is grounded or not, and if the vehicle is grounded, you keep the center of mass of the vehicle to center of the vehicle's body. And if the vehicle is not grounded, you change the center of mass position to slightly beneath the vehicle's position. This makes your vehicle to always roll back upright. I figured out 3 types of vehicle behavior with my vehicle physics. Rally cars, Formula 1 car, monster trucks. I am also working on an asset for this type of vehicle physics. It's almost done. I just have to add some particle systems. So this was a comparison between 2 methods. I would recommend configurable joints method for arcade games, as it's very easy to implement, and raycast method for more advanced or realistic physics, but you have to learn about how vehicles work in the real world. I am also learning about it, and I will make a video on it later in this series. At the end, if this video was helpful for you, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. If you have some questions or suggestions, comment down. Till then, keep learning, stay motivated and keep making games. Goodbye.